April 19th, 1995, it started out like any other day reporting to work. Got to work at around 6, 7 o'clock that morning, just 14 blocks from this site, and going about our daily routine. And then at 9:02 is when the blast happened, and that's when everybody's lives in Oklahoma City and really in the nation were changed. The photo of me and Bailey was taken probably about maybe 30 minutes into the incident. An off-duty police officer said he had a critical infant, and I just instinctively said, "Here, I'll take her." When I got to the ambulance was full. They had a person on the floor, they had a person up on the bench, they had a person on a stretcher. There were several people on backboards laying on the ground. I remember telling the ambulance paramedic that I had a critical infant. He just said, "Well, hold on a second, we're not going to put that baby on the ground." And I still get choked up talking about it, thinking about it, because that was, looking back at the photo, that's when I was looking down at her and I was just thinking, somebody's world is going to be turned upside down today. I think I realized something was different that next morning. Don't take the small things for granted anymore. That's kind of persona I took on. Everything was, you just get up, go to work. You're thankful for every moment that you get with your family. It was 6 or 7 years later that we were putting a swimming pool in at our house, and I was helping the guys bust out some concrete. And I'm talking about a trigger, which I never knew what a trigger was then. And it started to rain, and I caught the smell of wet concrete dust. A lot of people don't know, early evening of the bombing, the day, it rained a little bit, and we got that smell of wet concrete dust. And it kind of took me back to that day. I've always had this little outgoing personality. I started kind of not being that person. I noticed that I was a little more withdrawn from the family. I didn't take that to work because I didn't want my supervisors that put me in this certain role, I didn't want them to think I couldn't handle my job, and I didn't want the people that worked underneath me to think that I couldn't handle my job. Started maybe drinking just a little bit, and then I started not communicating with my wife at all. I used to play the game. It led to me leaving the house and being separated from my wife for probably about 1.5 years or 2 years. It was a long road getting to the moment where I knew that I needed to do something. I was living in a little 2-bedroom apartment by myself. I woke up in the middle of the night one time at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I started searching through the apartment. I was looking for my family, but I was looking for them in their younger years, Man, I just fell to the floor and just knew. I said, there's no way that this is my purpose in life. That was basically it. I just, I kind of thought that as long as I've got a breath in me, that there's no way that God chose me for the profession that I did, gave me the heart to do what it takes to do what we do. And this is my purpose, to live as a lonely drunk in an apartment trying to fake everybody out. And I called my wife and told her that story, and she said, "Come home." That's when I knew that I needed something. A lot of people paint me in this picture as the firefighter holding the baby, and that's where his trauma started. Man, it was just a kickstart of bringing out tons of unprocessed trauma throughout the years, even back to my childhood. So I wouldn't be the husband, the father, and the person I am today if I hadn't gone to get the counseling. As first responders, military guys, and women, if something traumatic happens, we shed the tears, we give each other the hug, but we don't process it. And I have really come to learn that there is a huge difference in talking about it and processing it. I was at a point to where I could have ended my life or stayed on the path I was on, and no telling where I'd be. If it wasn't for the Oklahoma City bombing happening and the photo, I wouldn't be who I am today and where I'm at today in life. Once I got the help I needed and saw what life could be, I got to a point to where it was just like a it's like a breath of fresh air. My relationship with my family today, especially with my wife, the last 8 or 9 years is better than the previous, 20-something before that. I got my best friend back, so I mean that was a huge step for me. My boys, now I lost that relationship with them for a while. My oldest one, when I left home, he was 17 years old, and I said, "You're the man of the family. Take care of your mom." That was just kind of, that's what I did, and so it was good to get back home. I think what I've done is probably had more impression on them than the things I did before that. Them seeing me do what I did as far as getting the help I needed and getting our family back together probably speaks more volumes to them, I hope.